Welcome to today's topic. We are going to be diving into why is 28 the perfect age to master your nutrition and finally understand how to eat for your body. I truly believe that 28 is kind of this like magical age, kind of like the perfect time to commit to your body and nutrition. Who has noticed that what you got away with when you were 20 or 21, you cannot get away with now that you're older? When I was in college, when I was 19, first of all, I had dessert 3 times a day. In my freshman year of college, I had a cookie after breakfast, I'd have another cookie after lunch, and then I'd have like an ice cream sandwich or like whatever dessert was served in the dining hall for dinner. And I also would like eat fried food at my waitressing shift. I worked at Red Robin. I would eat fries. I would eat these like giant burgers with like cheese and barbecue sauce and fried onion rings. I would eat pizza. I would drink alcohol, and I was a size 2. And as I got older and older in my 20s, things started to change. I could no longer get away with eating that way without it having consequences on my body. Have you noticed that as well? So by the time I got to age 28, I realized that this wasn't going to get any easier as I aged, and I really needed to do something now about it. I needed to start to commit to my nutrition and my body in order to see changes. Otherwise, it was going to become much harder. So there's 3 reasons why I believe 28 is this perfect age to commit to your nutrition, to commit to learning how to fuel your body properly with the right quantity and the right quality, and to really commit to that process and lose the weight that you want to lose. So the first reason is at age 28, you are typically starting to experience more success in your career, your finances, and your relationships. You have established yourself in your 20s, you've gone to college or you've traveled, and you are more established in your career. You've been investing time in your career development. You start to turn this corner where you start to have more disposable income. You start to be able to have more experiences in life. And you also tend to start to partner up with somebody. You might have a boyfriend, a fiance, be engaged, or have just gotten married, and your priorities start to shift. You start to think about, hey, like I maybe want to have a family. Maybe I want to have kids one day, and I want to make sure I'm fueling my body properly. And hey, I feel like this is going to get harder as I get older. And if I don't get a hold of it before I get pregnant and have kids, it's going to be really challenging. If you think about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, if you're familiar with that concept, I love that illustration of our needs as a human being, because when we need to fulfill our basic needs, just for income, for a place to live, for safety, security, we can't focus on those self-actualization goals that we have. We can't focus on those optimization goals that we have for our life and our body. So it's very normal to be kind of focused on just like getting your ish together in your 20s. Like, where do I live? Do I have roommates? Like, what's my career? How much money am I earning? Like, how is this all working out? It's very easy to go through that phase. And then as you come into your later 20s, to start to feel a desire to start to optimize certain areas of your life. And often one of those areas that women feel called to optimize is their body. The second reason is because, newsflash, truth bomb, it's going to get harder and harder for you to lose weight as you get older. Why? Well, one of the reasons why is because your basal metabolic rate decreases each year as you age. Now, it is not a dramatic change year over year, but if you look at a span of 10 years and then 20 years, your basal metabolic rate really changes. So, for example, somebody whose basal metabolic rate was 1,300 calories when they were 19, their basal metabolic rate will be 1,261 when they're 28. So that's a decrease of 44 calories per day. Again, that may not seem like a lot, but 44 multiplied by 365 is actually around 16,000 calories per year, which equals about 4.5 pounds of weight or fat. So if you are not managing the fact that your basal metabolic rate is decreasing every year and you're not paying attention to portion sizes and you're not eating the correct quantity of food for your body, it's very easy to just like start gaining a few pounds a year at the minimum just from your basal metabolic rate changes, and to in 4 years be like, how have I gained 20 pounds? Well, if you don't manage for basal metabolic rate changes and you overeat a little bit, it's very easy to gain that kind of weight. Another reason why it gets harder as you age is because of hormonal changes. So women, we have a very unique hormonal panel, right? Our hormones change every single day throughout our cycle, every 28 to 30 days. And as you age, you're going to have more exposure to toxins in the environment that can disturb hormonal balance. You will have declining levels of hormones as you get older. You might have pregnancy, and all can affect your fat loss. Speaking of pregnancy, you also might be thinking of getting pregnant. And as you get older, if you do have biological children, what can happen is it can be much harder to change your body post multiple pregnancies. I've worked with women through pregnancy and helped them manage their weight during pregnancy and then help them lose the weight after pregnancy, and it's totally possible. But there are changes that occur in your body. Your hips often widen. Your set point can increase. So before you give birth, you were one weight. As you gain weight during pregnancy, even if you lose a lot of that weight post-pregnancy, your body, usually its set point is a little bit higher. You have more of a womanly body and less of like a girl body. And so as your set point changes, your stress often increases. Now you have children, you have more demands on your schedule. So stress increases, which affects hormones. You have more demands on you, you have less time. It becomes more and more challenging to prioritize your health, your fitness, your nutrition. I see this with clients who come to me in their 40s, that it can be much harder for them to change their body composition. They can still make progress. Heck, I've had clients in their 60s lose 20 pounds with me. So it's not that you can't make progress, but I'm just telling you it's going to get harder and harder as you age. And there's really no point in putting it off, because the problem's just going to get harder for you to solve. Another thing that is really valuable about starting at age 28 is mindset-wise. So we've kind of talked about the physical implications of starting at a younger age, but when you are younger, you tend to be more flexible and open in your mindset and very open to growth. So change requires openness. If you are committed to changing your eating habits, it's going to require being open to something new, being uncomfortable at times, like maybe you have to eat more vegetables, maybe you have to give up your soda habit, maybe you have to drink less alcohol. That change requires that you are open and committed to growth. And not always, but sometimes as we age, we become more rigid and less open-minded. Our beliefs become more and more entrenched. So we can find it more difficult to be open to new ideas or new ways of thinking about things. We can experience more resistance towards a coach telling us what to do. And the beliefs that we hold by age 30 often stick with us. So if you, in your 20s, you still have flexible beliefs around nutrition and your body and fitness. So if you learn the correct way to eat, if you learn correct nutrition science in your late 20s, then by the time you turn 30, you have now given yourself the knowledge that you actually want to stick with you, right? You don't want to be taking forward knowledge with you that actually is false or not helpful for you. And habits become much harder to change as we age. We tend to be creatures of habit. When we're younger, we're more flexible in our habits. As we get older, it can be harder and harder to change. So like if you don't have an exercise routine, it can be hard to start one as you get older, because you're so used to maybe laying around in the mornings or watching TV and not moving your body. If you've gotten used to never going to the gym, it can be much harder to do that. So at age 28, now is the time to train and ingrain your new habits and beliefs and behaviors that are actually going to give you access to the results that you want long term. Now, I just want to say something about if you're over 28. I am almost 41. So I absolutely love helping women who are in their 30s and their 40s. But I have discovered through working with clients for almost 5 years that Women who commit to their nutrition around age 27 to 29, they get some of the best and most long-lasting results because they have dealt with some of the physical challenges that can happen as you age preemptively. They've gotten a hold of the problem as early as possible. They also are very open in their mindset and committed to growth. And so they have time also and flexibility in their schedules to really prioritize themselves. And when you're learning something new, you need to be willing to invest time and energy to study and learn that thing. And then as you get more competent in that new knowledge, you don't need to spend as much time with it, right? But just like learning any new skill, it does require time and investment of energy. I hope this inspired you if you are in your 20s to really go after grabbing your nutrition and grabbing your health and fitness and really running with it. I know for me that I made a commitment at age 28 to really change some of my unhealthy habits, and it made a big difference in the long term. And if you are getting started on your health journey a little bit later, don't stress, don't think it's not possible, because at age 34 is when I really committed to my nutrition. So just know that the earlier you can start this journey, the better. Don't wait to gain nutrition knowledge, because it is an investment in yourself that will reap benefits year over year for the rest of your life, and it will have tremendous benefits for your family, your future children, your partner, your spouse, etc. If this sounds like something you need, if you are committed to losing 10 to 30 pounds and you want to do it by learning how to macro count without hunger or forbidden foods, then I invite you to join the waitlist for my spring and summer 2022 program. We will be starting sometime in May, but I am accepting people on the waitlist now. You can visit my website, heathermcconaughey.com/empower to learn more and drop your name on the waitlist. You can also hop over to Instagram and drop your name via the link in my bio there. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and I look forward to talking to you soon.